I'm sitting here today with Lee Williams from the Wicklow Brewery in Red Cross, County Wicklow. Good friends of ours, and we've been collaborating on a number of things over the past few years, but really excited about our first collaboration, which was with your 12-12-20. Lee, would you like to tell us a little bit about the genesis and the story of your 12-12 series, and then what made you think about asking us to give you a dig out?
Yeah, certainly, John. We started the brewery in 12-12-12, and we spent the first couple of years trying to establish ourselves because it was new to us. We were a pub, but we were just loads of people were looking for a local beer. I tried to stock one, nobody sold one in Wicklow, so between it all, we ended up opening the Wicklow Brewery. We spent the first couple of years making the standard beers. We wanted to have a really, really good lager, so let's get a lager first. So we had the Hellas lager. Then we decided a red ale, so Ellen Kemp's and Kevin's red ale. Then we decided to go Weiss. Let's do something crafty, and we do a Wicklow Weiss. So they were our three main beers, and they were established and they were good. And we'd had a couple of years under our belt of getting the basics right before you start playing with stuff. Then we had this idea that the brewery was born on the 12th of the 12th of the 12th. When we did that, we didn't know why that was going to be a useful marketing kind of play on it. Yeah. But we thought this is too much of a coincidence to leave alone, so let's go 12-12. So then was born, let's do a series. Let's do 12-12-16. So it was 2016 when we did the first series of the 12-12. So these bottles are all like this. Every one will look the same apart from the year.
Okay.
So basically it's 12-12-16, there's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22.
Yeah.
So that's where it all played on. It's been a collector's item. They're all individually hand waxed, so no two bottles are ever going to be the same because the chances of getting that that wax to be the same in each bottle. So because the series went really well, you have to think of something different the whole time. So that's why thought of you guys, and you're very kind to loan us your barrels. We knew Noel, we said, Noel, any chance when you're emptying those lovely whiskey barrels that we could maybe put some beer in the whiskey barrel. So that was the first time we'd done it, and it was amazing. The taste of the whiskey and the beer, and I suppose it goes back to the old, years ago when people would have a whiskey chaser. Yeah. They do go together.
They do.
And they do go really well together in a bottle, so hence that's where the relationship all started.
And then this particular one, the first, the 12-12-20, was an Imperial Stout.
Yes.
So what's different about that? Because I mean, we all know stout whiskey or stout beer, but Imperial Stout, it's stronger, isn't it?
It's stronger, and it's going to be heavier. It's going to be using the malt that you use is going to be really well roasted malt, so you're going to always get chocolate and rich, and it's not a beer, it's not a session or anything like that. This is a beer that you enjoy in a day. You open it up, you serve it at room temperature, you let it breathe, and you get all the taste going on. There's a lot of chocolatey kind of taste coming into it as well, and it'll always be 9% and rising.
Okay.
You never get it under that.
And this is it here. So,
yes.
I mean, when you looked for the whiskey barrels, what were you looking to get from those? What flavour profiles were you looking for? Was it, would it intensify the strength of the beer, or is it just a flavour profile?
It was kind of a bit of both, that it was going to be the flavour as well, and it's supposed to be the bouquet as well as the taste. That when if anybody's going to taste like exactly what you just did, you're going to get, going to get your nose in there. So you knew you were going to get that whiskey flavour coming as well, but you also didn't realise how quick it was going to react to the alcohol levels. We had it in the barrel, thinking we're going to have it in the barrel for maybe 3 weeks. I think after 2, it was already at 9.4 and rising, and because we're such close neighbours, when Noel said the barrels are ready, you don't wait around for a day or two. You get in the car and half an hour later, so it's the same day. When you guys say the barrels are ready, come get them, put the beer in as quick as possible, and then it actually works faster. So
And I know we were really excited to get the barrels back because with whiskey, there's only 2 things that can affect the flavour of a whiskey, and that is the cereal from which it has originally been produced, and then how you mature it and what you mature it in. So I know when we got the barrels back, we were looking at grain whiskey and putting grain whiskey into it, because grain whiskey tends to be a lot more subtle and a lot more lighter than we would say traditional malt whiskies. So we got some, I think, 10-year-old grain whiskey and put it into those barrels, and straight away we could get the aroma difference from just a standard bourbon barrel. There was a creaminess, there was like a clotted cream, there was vanilla, almost like a cafe latte, or one of those what are they called, short whites or flat whites. That was some of the flavors that was coming through. And the other thing that it really brought to us as well was this it sounds a bit ridiculous, but a thickness, a mouthfeel that's different. It really made the whiskey fattier, you know, and worked exceptionally well. So that's when we got the barrels back. Then obviously we were looking to do a release. So the release that we came up with was this one here, the Distillery Select. And the Distillery Select is a very limited run. It was only 500 odd bottles because it was only a finite amount of barrels we got back. And so we batched two of them together and released it here in the distillery. And the response has been phenomenal because it takes the whiskey to another level. It just adds that extra depth of flavour that you don't expect from a whiskey of that style. And it's proved, as I said, really, really, really popular, but it's gone a step further. The World Whiskey Awards just a few days ago, this whiskey was named, got a gold medal, but it was also named Best in Category from Ireland. So really, really proud of that. And it's and what I love about it, and Lee, as you know, I'm a proud Wicklow man, I'm from Rathdrum. It's this collaboration that's really important to me, that we're both small industries in a much larger world, and we're helping each other out, and we're coming up with new ideas and award-winning whiskies and award-winning beers. So every year, when you said yours collectible, I think I have about 3 or 4 of them at home. Every year I have a comparative tasting, and I try last year's beer against this year's
That's what
beer.
Everybody's doing. It's become that.
Oh no, it's absolutely brilliant. But Lee, I know we got some barrels back from you again this year. And with Paul Corbett, our new master distiller and blender, we're after coming up with a really interesting thing there. So stick tight to that. It's not as simple as this one. We're looking for something that hopefully in the end will be flavours like Black Forest Gatto in a whiskey. That's because a lot of that flavour is there in your beer, the vanilla, the creaminess, and what we've done now, we're hoping for some of those flavours. So look, Lee, thank you so much. Thank you for coming here, and thank you for helping us, and hopefully this will continue for long into the future.
Well, thank you as well, John. When you rang me up that day and said, can we do it in reverse, because it's always the beer is the poor man's cousin, so suddenly to do it the other way around, that you were going to take our beer barrels and put the fine whiskey into it, I think I said to you, you had me at a low, and it's been a journey that has gone on, and to actually win that award and our branding on your bottle, I just thank you for bringing us on your journey. Brilliant. It's been wonderful.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you.